All right, bang. Today is Wednesday. It is March 6th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Free Swim Wednesday. I'm joined by Chief, and Danny is on Storm Chaser, so Rudy is filling in for him. Rudy, welcome.
I feel like you guys, there's some comparables there. Like no one really knows exactly where you fit in with your job titles.
We're
That's
like a good point.
Yeah.
We're ambiguous.
Right. You're just kind of floaters. You want to do content, you want to do edit, you guys do it all.
Swiss Army knife.
Social.
Yeah. Guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I don't know what we're doing.
Well, that's what you asked me. Like, what are we doing? I was like, well, tell me what's really chapping your ass right now.
Yeah.
So,
I said laundry.
Laundry, which is
a great podcast topic.
It's a daily grind. Yeah. It is a daily grind.
Everyone hates laundry.
What's chapping you? I feel like that's.
Oh, I got a lot of things. I mean, what was pissing me off last week?
I feel like you've been cranky in general.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We need to get to the summer.
Yeah.
That's like
push through
the relaxation period. Here's what's not pissing me off though. It's RHOBACK.
RHOBACK's the absolute
The RHOBACK activewear.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know we love RHOBACK. We love St. Patty's here as well in Chicago, and so does RHOBACK. They just released the new St. Patty's inspired polo, hoodies, and crew necks, and we can't wait to celebrate.
They're the absolute best. I hope people are wearing this. Everyone needs green on St. Patrick's Day. Now you know where to get it.
Hopefully the weather's perfect for those nice, stretchy, thin, beautiful, soft material that RHOBACK does.
And if it's not, just pretend you got it from the Masters, which is right around the corner.
Yeah, they're great. Yep. Great way to start your day. They also got polos, the best collars that hold their shape and fit way better than those old boxy polos. Their Q-zips are incredibly soft as well. Finally, pair any of this with the RHOBACK joggers and you'll be all set. The most comfortable joggers out there. They're easy to move in and made for activity. I got to hit them up. I got to get some more joggers. Honestly, I'll just use my promo code here because
20%.
They're worth it.
Yeah.
Use code DOG on RHOBACK.com for 20% off all new customers through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and polos with code DOG. And it ends at the end of this week. So make sure you use it in 3 days or else you're going to have to wait for another promo code. So you want to know what's pissing me off, Rudy? Here we go. I make a notes app. Nothing really.
The hate list?
Not really a hate. It's not really a, what'd you say?
A chapped list?
Yeah, it's not really a hate list, but you know.
And irked. You're irked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of things.
Yeah, all right. Let's start with
you ready? I've given up. I'm old. So I got in the office around 9 something yesterday, and Chef Donnie had 12, 13 kids. I don't know where they're from. They're snowboarders or whatever. They're just a little too loud. They're a little too rambunctious. They were doing like all the stuff that I normally do, except they broke one of the overhead lights in the basketball court, and I was like, I had to stop myself from walking down the way like, hey kids, like enough, like we got to
wag your finger.
This is a place of business like that. I literally had that thought in my head, being like, these fucking kids, this is a place of business.
How old were they?
They were probably early 20s.
Oh, okay.
They're probably like ambiguous Rudy's age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had like cool guy vibes to them.
The ageless ones.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the same thing with Danny and Rudy as well. They're much older than people would realize.
Yeah, 100%.
I almost feel like you guys should live together.
Someone tweeted out a thing of me the other week about me, Danny, and Zoop. And it was the pictures of 3 of us, and we all have mustaches. And so they said that you can't tell me that these 3 guys aren't just the same Pokemon, but different evolution.
Oh, dude. If Antonio Brown saw that picture, he'd be like, Barstool is.
This is it. This is it. All these crackers.
Dude, I was in one of the tweets he tweeted. I didn't even realize it till last night. It was the crossword picture. I mean, I'm barely in it.
Oh,
just
yeah.
the top of my dome.
Yeah.
But I was looking at it. I was live on stream and we were talking about the Antonio Brown thing. I scrolled down. I'm like, wait, I'm in one of these photos. He was firing from the hip.
Yeah, he was.
What was that line you said? You're legit in any hood. You're valid in
I'm valid in every hood.
Yeah, I don't think Antonio Brown agrees.
But I would argue with that because I am not, you can't prove it's me. I know it's me, but my face isn't in it. So had Antonio Brown seen my face, I don't know if he would have launched, because there would have been something in the back of his head that goes, wait a second, I have a feeling that someone in this photo is valid.
It would have been like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Rudy, you're cool.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving.
Fucking taking fire at our good friend Za.
What do you say about Za?
Yeah. Well, he's been on like, so for people that don't know, Antonio Brown is like on a rampage against Barstool for some reason.
Barstool and Dave, like he doesn't like how much he's punching the wrong guy. He should just be like in Jerry Thornton's ear. Like that's like it's an old guy who looks like Smithers. It's none of those crackers that you're talking about.
Yeah, so he's like all the crackers at Barstool logging on to defend Tom Brady. It was a picture of a cracker.
Yeah.
Then he said something like, Wallow and Gill are the only two non-crackers at Barstool. And then he somehow found Zaz, and he said, hold on, 2.5. and then Zaz like, Jesus, man. Well, Zaz was laughing about it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, just I don't know where someone's got to be supplying Antonio Brown with info, right?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
They have to be.
Do you think he's just watching all the shows all the time?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be that too.
Do you ever feel like Wallow and Gilly are just they're their own company? Because I kind of do. Like we haven't had them on a snake draft. We've had every other person in the company on the snake draft.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tried when they came in for their Chicago show, but they had something going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of, sort of. Yes,
like they're an independent subsidiary. And they just kill it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah. Their clips pop up on my TikTok all the time. Like,
oh yeah. I love when they open the show with a song.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, the Snoop Dogg one was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, that's kind of the today and Antonio Brown and this is like this we're recording a day early.
Yeah.
Who knows where it's at this point?
Yeah. Second old guy thing for me too. I've been like thinking about cutting the cord. I just can't do it. I was watching Rangers play the Panthers, and every time there's a commercial, naturally when I'm watching sports, I'm off. Like I'm going off to something else and I'll come back. But if you're streaming, like you're fucked. Like you have to sit there and just watch commercials and wait for it to come back.
Yeah, but you're going to be surprised when you find out that cutting the cord now doesn't mean what it used to. It's still, if the sports things are like on HBO Max now, some are on Paramount, some are on Peacock, and then YouTube TV is sort of the go-to. It's essentially they've merged cable with streaming. So there's still commercials for sports.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm watching a game, and that game goes to commercial, I'm flipping to another channel.
Right.
If I'm streaming that game like I was last night,
Gotta back out of the server.
I gotta get out of the app.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That sucks. So now I'm sitting there watching,
I do agree with that on a different front. People are always like, oh, AI is going to take over the world. AI is going to take over the world. Yeah, I can do some impressive things. But like, just like that, switching between apps on a TV still feels like you're trying to get nuclear codes. It takes forever to switch.
Impossible.
When we can seamlessly switch between apps or Siri can accomplish one fucking task, then I'll be legit about AI. But I think it's way overrated.
But
they can make images, but they're not doing like much.
They're not
impressing
exactly.
me.
But as soon as they're able to switch seamlessly between the apps, you know what that's called? That's fucking cable.
Yeah.
Then you're just right back where you started.
You should just get YouTube TV. It's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, I have
okay.
it. It's good.
What's the remote situation?
Well, that depends on the TV.
It's just an app on your smartphone.
That's the big difference, dude. Yeah, you're right. Cable companies give you the remote.
Yeah, I talk to my remote.
In this apocalyptic future, the remote is just a part of the TV.
I don't know what to do with that. I don't like. I feel like I'm going to run into more problems that way.
You want to hear something else that's going to make you want to become a hermit?
Yeah.
Is I got a new TV when I moved here. My new remote, it has this thing where it can work as a regular remote where you just like click and move like that. Okay. But it has a different thing where you click a button and it becomes like a mouse. So wherever you're pointing, it moves.
Oh, dude, I had that in our Airbnb in Scottsdale.
It's wily.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't figure out the TV in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Old guy 3, that's strike 3.
Yeah, because you're like...
But it was like you had to log into LG to download an app to download ESPN Plus. I didn't have to log in.
Your technology, not the greatest.
No, I'm not the best.
Not the greatest. I love how your first complaint was just like a very direct anger issue at Chef Donnie's buddies, and then this one's like another. I mean, it's all old guy shit.
It's all old guy.
This one's
shit.
more general.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, you and my dad have the same problems.
I know.
No, but this one's not his problem.
Which one?
The
remote thing.
The like
streaming service.
Yes.
Yeah.
To cable.
Yeah.
That's not.
That's a universal problem
for sure. Like Thursday Night Football is all Amazon now, and I'll just forget and I'll go back and it pulls me completely out.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, realistically, it's like a 3-second difference.
But in that world, it's an eternity, dude.
Yeah,
but it's also
the stimulation game. I need it now.
Yeah, like I want to switch to a channel. And then if you go back, like let's say you do that, let's say you leave it to go do something, then you're there have the pre-roll ad before you can even watch the game again. So no matter what, you're just getting fed commercials. I actually think that they should be They got to be just like they should charge more for their commercials than cable should.
But here's the thing too.
You have to watch them. You're captive. You're a captive audience.
Danny's on this big time, and he's right. It's almost like our cell phone, smartphone addicted selves crave commercials now.
Oh, to have a little break to look.
Break.
Yeah.
Hit the phone, see what's going on.
Yeah, I was watching Napoleon and I was having that issue.
Really?
Because Napoleon, it's long as fuck, and I want to pay attention to it. It's a pretty heavy movie, but I just couldn't, like, I just kept pausing and then being like, let's check something else out. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, dude,
like,
Napoleon. I felt like I was disrespecting Napoleon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, from the grave, I felt like he was like, look at this fucking clown.
Ass.
Yeah.
Just scrolling TikTok.
His ass.
Well, I'm becoming Brigadier General.
And you were taller than him, too. That wasn't actually
everyone
legit,
was.
right? He wasn't that short.
No, he was fucking short.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought
they
he
just
was
make
like,
that up. You want me to look up his real height? I bet you it was like 5'3".
I thought it was like 5'7".
White Sox, they fucking towers over that.
It was easy to have like legends back then, though.
Says he's 5'6".
Oh, so he's White Sox Dave's height. Yeah, imagine White Sox Dave conquering the world. You can't.
Yeah, you would. You would start talking.
Yeah.
If I got rolled and pillaged,
yeah,
I would probably make fun of his height. Like, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, then he just pillages you.
Yeah.
What is a pillage? They just take all your shit?
I think it has to do with stealing, sacking a city and stealing. I don't fucking know, dude. I didn't pay attention to Napoleon.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if there was a war on our soil?
Dude.
Hasn't been one since Civil War. We fought each other.
Isn't that crazy to think about, though?
Yeah.
Like, if like it was like, all right, time to go home from work, and it's like, no. They're rolling through. They're rolling down Hubbard.
Yeah, it gives Americans the constant ability to just be like, look at the news and be like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you can't imagine it.
You literally
can't.
No.
And it's like we kind of caused all that shit.
Yeah.
We're like, damn, that's crazy.
And then you learn that too and you go, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Someone should do something about this.
Yeah.
That's what I would, not me.
I picture that. You know,
Can I make a confession?
Yeah.
I actually picture that all the time.
Really?
Yeah, because
Another old guy move.
Well, I'll be like walking the dog and be like, they could never take over Chicago. Urban warfare here, Southport Street. Look at all these rooftops to hide on. They'd be fucked.
Yeah, it would be difficult.
Yeah.
It would be very difficult.
All the alleys, everything. We'd be good.
That whole underground highway.
That too. Go down to Whacker. Everyone just goes down to Whacker.
Yeah, but imagine like you're in Boston or something, and like you're just having lunch on like one of those docks,
and all of a sudden it gets bombed.
You just see a ship rolling in. Could you picture that?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
The American Revolution. The British are coming. Paul Revere had to go and ride his horse and tell people.
Yeah, but like there wasn't exactly outdoor cafes at that time, Chief. That's what I'm saying. Like imagine
they had cafes.
They had cafes.
Not like that.
They didn't have Equinoxes, but they had cafes.
Yeah. So, they didn't have the fucking, what is that, Seaport over there? They didn't have the King's Bowling Alley back then.
Yeah, no.
You're trying to fucking roll a perfect game like Bill Morrow, and you look out the window, it's like, oh, we're getting rolled up on.
Dude, wait, now I'm thinking about it. When did people start going to a gym?
I think the 80s. I feel like that was like that was
when was the gym invented?
Well, when was Schwarzenegger in his like
80s?
Yeah,
I mean, it had to be way before that.
It had to be,
like in the 30s. Remember the guys that would like lift tie irons and they would.
That's true. Yeah,
but their pants are up to their nipples.
Were they going to the gym though?
They're like picking up. They're just picking up items and putting them down.
Yeah, I feel like I remember old like. You know, like the sports stuff, like all the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Like
when was workout like you go to a place to work out? Because back in the day, it was just living was working out.
Yeah, probably once like those jobs stopped.
Yeah. Well, like farmers and shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the picture of Bobby Hull from back in the day?
No. His forearms
like the most jacked guy of all time.
He looks like Popeye.
Jacked out of his gourd.
It's absurd.
Here, he's pulling it up here.
Bobby Hull farming, whatever. Yeah, look at that. That's
crazy.
I'd like to look like that. Look at his fucking shoulders, dude.
Big boy.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, and all he did was baling hay. He would go home in the summer and like work on his dad's farm.
Canadians got it like that though. They're all like Iowa farming.
It's country strong.
Yeah, one of my favorite kinds of strong. My other one's prison strong. One of my favorite ones.
Who do you think would win in a fight? Prison strong or country strong?
That's a great question. I would say
country strong you want to help move your fridge.
I would say prison strong.
Yeah.
I would say prison strong.
Because that's more like MMA shit.
But he looks like you could hit him in the face with a tire iron and he wouldn't notice.
Wouldn't even feel it.
He wouldn't bleed.
Yeah. Bend the tire iron.
Yeah.
He just rub his face. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, though.
Okay, hold on. I just looked it up. In 1799, this dude in Denmark, the world's first private gymnastics club.
What's the date again?
1799.
So is that why they're called gyms?
That's a great question.
Gym is just short for gymnastics? Like no one's doing gymnastics at the gym.
Oh, hold on a second. Now it's also saying that ancient Persia, 3,000 years ago, physical fitness.
Well, then you got the Spartans were always doing shit like that.
True, they were training. They were training.
We had this little hypothetical on the mid show yesterday. Dave said he's going to paint his house by himself. Chief said he'd rather move than paint.
I feel like having someone paint, like ask, hey, come help me paint, is a worse job.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, I'd rather move. At least I know that fight.
Yeah, that's true too.
Painting,
Yeah,
I don't know.
agree as well.
I don't know that.
Really?
I think it's like the factor that like you can like ruin their shit a lot easier. Moving, like Rudy's saying, like I know how to move stuff. I know.
And it's just like with the move, it's like we have to move these things. The painting, it's just like I think we should put another coat on. Like you never know when you're done. Like it's like an indefinite period of time, and it's so fucking boring.
You need primer.
Yeah,
There might be more ambiguity.
ambiguity.
Yeah, there might be more ambiguity, but
Your timeline.
at the same time, like
It's just so
moving
boring.
blows.
Moving blows, but it will be over. I feel like the paint thing, you're just there forever.
I just think I would fuck something up.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's
And you're
what I'm saying.
spilling.
And then with moving, you can fuck things up, but the like range of messing up isn't like you can forget something and you just got to do more work.
Yeah.
Whereas like with painting, if you like completely mess it up, you got to redo it, and then you're just sitting there. I just have never painted. That's really the thing.
There's also a lot of
kind of
X factors
embarrassing.
if you're moving. Then you might have to hop in and move them in as well. Like that's a full experience. You know?
Yeah, no, it's a full day.
Yeah.
I just feel like the way my brain is similar to like the commercial thing. It's like we move the couch, now we're moving the whatever we need to move in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
The paint, it's just monotonous. We're painting this stretch, and you're just gonna move a foot, and you're gonna do that again and again and again and again all day long, and you're gonna want to kill yourself. It's the worst. Painting sucks.
I think I've moved 8 times in the last 10 years.
Oh Jesus, Rudy!
I think I've only had 2 years off not moving.
That's a bad deal.
How long is your lease here? A year?
Year.
You think you'll stay?
I think I'm gonna stay. I like
That's
it.
good.
Yeah, I mean New York, that kind of comes with the territory. But then like college, we only had one house that we stayed at more than 1 year, and then other than that, it was just bouncing.
I feel like New York, you'd want to stay in the same spot.
I mean, some people do. I just am. I continuously just got. When you start out, you just have such a shitty apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God willing, you make a little bit more money, or you find a better spot, and then you continuously just the need to level up or like fix how bad it is overweighs the inconvenience of moving.
Well, you had a nice little spot with Grinelli at one point, right?
Yeah, the first one was pretty good. My room, the apartment was nice. My room, I had the smaller room. It was so small, but it was nice. I didn't mind it. And then we got in a war with mice and we lost.
What does that look like? A war with mice?
It was ugly.
Just traps everywhere.
Traps everywhere. We couldn't stop them, dude. It was like Stalingrad. Like they were just coming and coming and coming. Like they were coming in droves.
So what do you call your landlord and be like, hey, like we got a mouse problem?
They try to fix it, but so what we realized is that we lived above a supermarket.
Oh, you're fucked.
So we were basically at ground zero. There was no way. And then there was a particular incident. I kind of tolerated it. It's really unsettling. I never saw them in my room, which was huge. But one night, I guess Grinelli heard something, woke up, went over to his desk, and was trying to figure out what was going on. Like, grabbed like a plastic bag, and a mouse just jumped out.
Oh,
When they start changing elevations, it's
Like-
different when they're on the ground level. When they start moving elevations, that's when it really. And literally the next day, he's like, "We're out. We're moving."
yeah, the Air Force comes in. It's a game
Yeah,
changer.
yeah. When they go, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, when they control the skies. GG,
My college
dude.
house had mice. It was bad.
I don't think I've ever had
Caught
that.
5 in 2 days. In my room.
In your room. See, when they're in your room, that's when it's bad news.
Yeah, it was awful. I just I wouldn't sleep because I would constantly think I would hear them.
Right.
You know, and it was just the house was just such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
The
Well, that's like
structure was
we've
bad.
talked about. My dad's been at war with squirrels at my parents' house for a decade. and they'll like burrow into the attic, and you can hear them upstairs, but they've never been like in the main part of the house. But it's like, I don't know what you do, and it's that thing. So
wolf's piss.
Yeah,
that's what we used to do. Well, we did that for foxes. I've told this story on other podcasts, so if you've heard it before, I'm sorry. But my mom, we had a big issue with foxes. And we got.
I don't think I've ever heard of a person having a big issue with foxes.
Yeah. We had foxes problems, and they would come into our neighborhood, and then we got this new landscaping in our yard, and they really took a fancy to it. They started a family there. And baby foxes, if you've never heard them, they sound like babies screaming.
Oh no, I haven't.
Terrifying.
They followed me on a bike path one time, and I thought they were adorable.
They are adorable,
but I didn't hear them.
They're adorable, but when they make home and they have babies, the babies make a noise that you cannot live with. It's incredibly annoying.
How often are they screaming though?
At night, which is the most inconvenient time.
Really?
Yeah. So my mom went kind of like loco. She told me I had an airsoft gun.
Okay.
And she told me...
How old are you here?
I was probably like 12, 13.
Okay, perfect airsoft age.
Yeah, and she told me I had a perfect vantage point from my room of the landscaping.
Okay.
I had the high ground.
Yeah.
So she told me to get on the roof, and she said, just, if you see one, shoot it. And I was like, what? My mom is like,
feels
sweet lady.
Highly illegal.
Yeah, but it's an airsoft gun. I can't.
Yeah.
She just wanted to send a message. She wanted to buzz the tower.
Yep.
I was like, well, you're moving like Corleone right now. Like, this is crazy. Like, just get a professional.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, like...
Yeah. Shooting shit is awesome.
Okay, Eisenhower, what the fuck? So I sat up there. I taped a laser pointer because I wanted to be tactical.
That's awesome too.
Yeah, it felt cool. It felt cool. And I shot him. It didn't hurt him, really. I mean, it like probably was like, they were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not enough to move them out.
But it was weird. We had this thing in our neighborhood in Denver. There's like this very clear cyclical pattern where for like 1 or 2 years, there'll be tons of bunnies and they're fine. And then the bunnies will disappear and the foxes will take their place. So it's like the foxes are there, the bunnies aren't. But if the bunnies are there, the foxes aren't. It's weird. Yeah.
And that did nothing, you said, though.
What?
Like
airsoft gun.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it sent a message.
Yeah.
But they stayed.
Yeah, I don't remember how we got rid of them. My mom probably
called it professional.
Probably got like a blowtorch. How she was talking.
Did they do anything else, or they were just that was the only con of them?
No, it's just the noise. I mean, they can. I think her big gripe was that she really felt strongly about that landscaping, and she didn't want them ripping it up, and because they do make dens, and that can fuck shit up. But they primarily live in storm drains, like similar to raccoons, at least
really?
Urban places. Yeah. So you only really see them when they come out at night. They don't really like. But they leveled up from the storm drain. They saw a nice little patch of land, and my mom was
We'll do it the old school way.
It's a good enough reason for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to the mice thing real quick. You're like, hey, the next day we're leaving. Are you just automatically out of your lease?
No. We conveniently were close to the end.
Okay.
So it kind of just lined up, and he's like, we got to find a new spot. And we may have done it anyway, but the mice was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
And the place was like a nice place, though, right?
It was pretty solid by New York standards. Yeah, it was solid. I mean, we had like it wasn't huge, but it was good for us. It was nice. But then the next place was much nicer because we leveled up big time on a COVID deal. This was during COVID, and then all the prices just shot down. And we got a place that had like a pool on the roof. Like we were living large. We were living large. And then he moved in with his girlfriend, and then I got in at like the last place that still kind of had a COVID deal, and then it like rebounded where it was. New York's always expensive, and then COVID, it went way down, and then everyone wanted to recoup what they lost, so then the prices went like even higher than they were pre-COVID. But I got lucky; I got a pretty good spot like right before that, and then I moved to Chicago.
The COVID pricing, man.
Yeah.
Then they surged. They pulled the Wendy's. Did you see that Wendy's is charging? They're trying to do surge pricing for.
I saw that.
Burgers?
That's sad, dude.
That's wild.
That's a sad state of affairs, man.
That is.
You can't be doing that.
That's a wild move. I don't think they'll ever do it, though.
I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should be able to do it at like lunch, but
it's kind of smart.
I think it's kind of, especially if you're going to be like a 24-hour, be like, hey, it's after 2.
Technically,
your options
smart.
are limited. Pay $10 for this burger.
But it's so dirty, bro.
Yeah.
It is.
That's like the one constant, man.
I know. And it's also like, if I'm in the drive-thru and I run up and I see, if I already sat in the drive-thru lane, let's say for a couple minutes in line, and then they're like, hey, by the way, like price is 30% up, there's no way I'm getting out of line.
But that's everything. There's like, I think there's cars now that will charge you like $9 a month for like to use your seat heaters.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Like they're making everything subscription based.
Oh, yikes, dude. What?
Yeah, that's, look at Adobe. You
Yeah.
be able to buy that shit.
Yeah.
Now you got to rent it out for like $15 a month or whatever. everything is like pivoting over to this subscription model.
Yeah, even video games with microtransactions, it's like a continuous drip of money.
Yeah, that's like.
Yeah, remember this is
that's
like
a new scam.
5-6 years ago. Like Kendrick Perkins' kids spent like $20,000 on a video game.
Farmville?
No, it was why am I blanking on it? It's the not the Call of Duty, but the other like Fortnite.
Yeah,
they spent like $20,000.
Yeah,
got his credit card and they spent 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't get that.
Gotta get those skins.
Yeah.
But hey, congrats to Chief. He just bought a car. What'd you buy, Chief?
Got a Chevy Blazer.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. So first time I've had a car in like 6 years.
Attaboy.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, Chief, the auto show may be over, but the best deals at your Chevy dealer are still going. If it's time for a new car, your local Chevy dealer is something for you. Rudy, look into the all-new Equinox, the Trax and Blazer.
I've heard about it.
They're SUVs you'll want to test drive and drive often, giving everything from style to comfort, safety, and plenty of room. There is a Chevy SUV for you. Head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to learn more about these cars and find out about your local Chevy dealer today.
Yeah, they're great. I'm very excited so far. I've driven it because the people at the Flossmoor dealership drove it up here. So they drove it to the office. So I was able to drive it into a parking spot only so far. So I'm looking forward to that drive home. Nothing better than that smell. You get a little rush. Like I don't really enjoy anything. Like nothing brings me joy. I'm not really a car guy, but I felt good like sitting in that today. So yeah, so go to ChevyDriveChicago.com, find something
it's yours.
For you. Yeah.
Did you feel self-conscious in it? Like, 'cause I always feel like cars, like, weirdly are like people. Like, when you're meeting someone new.
Oh, I'm glad I showered now that you said that.
I would feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm weird, though. A
little bit.
Yeah, I would be like, so I was like, I hope a car likes me.
Yeah.
I would feel self-conscious. Like, it was judging me. Like, I hope I play good music.
I will say that I did a bad park job. When I first pulled in, I'm right next to Ed. I'm like, It wasn't like perfectly lined up
I would have
straight.
loved to blast you on your first day. With
Yeah, so I had to back it out and go straight because I didn't want to have like my first action in the new car be like shitty.
See, that's what I mean, dude. You can't have that. It's bad juju.
Didn't know that about myself.
You don't want to be judged.
Yeah,
exactly.
Buy the car. And everything's like, I feel like recorded now. That car's got 10 zillion cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
You're right.
Yeah.
I got something here. We had this debate. You're from Colorado. I'm very interested to hear what you think about it.
Ed hates Colorado.
You're not going to hear any complaints from me. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, here's why. I was anti-Colorado when it was the thing to like suck Colorado's dick.
Yeah, I'm willing to admit. I mean, it's a gorgeous place. Love it from there. Everything. It gets overhyped.
Yeah, like there was like a big, like especially when weed went legal, like there was like this uprising of people around here, like moving to Rado, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I was like, I can't do it.
Well, you hate those people, but you hated those people here too.
No, it was just like, all right, like we get it. I'm going to Colorado.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I like it there.
It's. I would say this. It's a great place to live if you're secure in a relationship, love the outdoors. There's no place better. It's fantastic. But if you're like a younger dude or you're single. No, bro. No. The Menver tag is real. The Menver tag is a very real thing.
Wait. So what? There's a lot more dudes?
You haven't heard of that?
No.
Oh,
I actually have not.
Menver is like a real thing.
Really?
Well, think about it, dude. Everything about that place is catered towards just dudes. It's just breweries out the wazoo, skiing, like outdoor activities, biking. Not that women
old
can't
school
do those
like
things.
cowboy shit.
Yeah, but like in general, it's just not. It's like I ran into a kid at a bar a while ago, and he was telling me, he's like, oh, I'm thinking about moving to Denver. I was like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 23. And I was like, are you single? He's like, yeah. I'm like, please don't. I was like, please don't, trust me. You're gonna, because like it's not. There's fun things to do, and it's different for me because I'm from there, so all my friends are there. So, but if you're moving to a new city and you want to move to Denver and you're a single dude, it's just not. You're not going to be stimulated enough. You're not going to be excited enough. It's not like Chicago where like there's a billion fun bars that are like, you know, you can find your vibe.
Yeah.
It's sort of, it's just not like that. The nightlife and stuff like that isn't.
I wonder what happens because we went to the game at Boulder, Nebraska game against Colorado this year. And
Boulder's a different. That's a whole different.
All the girls were like insanely hot.
Yeah. Well, they're from Chicago and California.
Yeah. But then they just go back home after school. They don't, no one get jobs in Denver.
No, they do. There are girls that stay, but it's just not on the same level as other major cities.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not at the same.
I was stunned by the amount of hot girls at
Well, Boulder's insane.
Yeah.
Boulder's insane. I used to get so mad because my girlfriend in college went to Boulder, so I got like a taste of it, and she was in a sorority, and I mean the girls there are just incredible. And I used to get so mad because we were just down the road at Denver, and they'd be hanging with these frat guys, and I was just like mad and like spiteful. I was like, they have no idea, like we're so much better down there. We're better guys. We're more funnier. We're in
about to win a national championship.
We're in better shape, and they get to enjoy all these spoils, but. I got lucky. I got to live like both lives, which was great. Boulder is incredible.
Yeah, I love it.
It's an awesome spot. You treat it entirely differently, especially like the college aspect of it.
Yeah, that was my first time there, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it was cool.
It was cool. The football game was cool too because we went when it was like it mattered. You know, they were still undefeated with all the Dion stuff.
Yeah,
it was great.
So even as a hater, so to speak, it was a nice little town.
Yeah,
definitely had a little. You know, how old is the city? Like it's
Denver.
Yeah, well, Boulder.
Boulder?
I actually don't know.
Like
I really have no
years old.
Yeah, it's a little cookie cutter, but like
yeah, but it's growing.
Kind of what it is. You know, when you expand, you put like new architecture up that kind of looks the same. You know, but it's definitely not.
Well, it's like we just got back from Scottsdale. Like all of Arizona looks the exact same.
Yeah,
exact same.
Yeah. The further west you go, the more everything looks more
uniform.
Chicago's kind of the end of that.
Trying to think. Kansas,
when you think
I'm trying to think, but there's nothing like I feel like there's nothing in between here in the Rockies.
It's literally it's weird. It goes like Chicago. I mean, everyone that lives in between is going to be pissed as fuck right now. But in terms of like major cities, they got motion. It's like Chicago, then Denver, and then I guess
I don't know where you factor Texas and all that. But
that's a whole that's south
though.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's different.
You're right. We were doing this like population thing. Do you know how many people live in Denver?
2 million.
So that's probably metro pop.
Yeah.
So just like Denver population, 711,000, which is a lot. I feel like
111,000 in Denver.
Yeah.
Well, that's So in Denver County, 711,000.
Yes.
Because Denver, there's Denver and then there's Denver Metro.
Yeah. What's it like Arapahoe and all those places, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Denver is like a mini LA because it's sort of urban sprawl. It just fans out forever outside of Denver. Proud to say I'm actually from Denver County, which is so I'm in that 7-Eleven.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, the majority of my friends all lived in Denver, but they're not in Denver County. They're like in the suburbs outside. It literally is like a miniature. It's like Diet LA. That's how I used to tell people about it.
Do you think you'll ever move back?
I don't know. I could see myself living in Boulder the older I get, but I haven't had that drive to go back. Honestly, I really got. I mean, I was there so much because I grew up there, obviously, and then I played at Denver, which was just down the road. So there was just like college, like right in your hometown, and everything. So I was pretty eager to like go see other shit, and so I still don't really quite have that. I could see myself if I'm older with a family or something going back there, but I don't know. I'm blown away by how much I like Chicago. I'd never expected it to like it this much.
I'm glad to hear that.
Because you were pretty much on the fence, right?
I wasn't on I mean, I was kind of holding on to the idea that like living in New York is cool simply for the fact that you say you live in New York and you can feel better than other people, which is a real thing.
You don't feel that here? If you're talking to your friends from high school or college that are still in Colorado, you're like, you don't have that same level of like, I'm in a big city. Yeah,
not as much as New York, because New York has such like a air of like a
elitism
and like you're like you feel like you're braver than everyone else, which is not true whatsoever. So I was kind of holding on to that and holding on to like, oh, New York is great, but it was weird. Like once I turned 30 and I'd been in New York for 5 years, it was just like something changed. I was like, I need to have like more space. I need to live. You don't live a real life there.
You need to be an adult.
And to live a real life in New York, it is incredible, but it is at a certain point you have to make so much money to have like a real life there.
Yeah.
In terms of like a spare bedroom, a car, shit like that.
So you would never move back to New York?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind like if I could do a thing where I go every year in the spring and somehow live in New York for the spring, I would do that. Because the spring in New York is incredible, but that's like the only tolerable weather-wise time, and it's gorgeous there and it's so fun. But yeah, it's just you're on like borrowed time.
Where do you think you'd go next?
California.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
you could.
I thought for sure I'd
you
live
would
in
be great in
California. I mean, I'm the poster boy for like
Yes.
going to California. It's just the weather, dude. Like I just need the weather, and I love being near the ocean. I just feel better. But the problem is that like I love the culture of Chicago. I love the vibe of Chicago. I love the vibe of New York. I don't really love like the vibe of like LA can be cool, but in general it sort of blows. But the weather, dude.
The weather's awesome.
But Newport Beach, gorgeous.
Yep.
It's amazing how much is based off the weather.
It matters. It
Dude.
does. Like, I felt like that when we were in Arizona last week. It's like, man, like I don't think I would ever want to live here, but I'd like this weather.
Yeah, the vibes are good because of the weather.
Yeah. You're just in a better mood.
Yeah, you just feel better in general. But there's no place that has it all.
No,
That's true.
It sucks.
it's impossible.
It
But that's where I kind of, well, they don't have an ocean, but I don't really care about the ocean. But that's why I feel about Colorado, because you get like 300 days of sun. You can do some stuff outside. You still have all your major sports. It is a city.
you get all the seasons.
Yeah, you get all the seasons.
Yeah, you get snow, but it's not gross,
Right.
whipping
And like
sleet.
you can use it.
You
like
can
a
use
snow,
the snow.
right. Here, the snows is like, I guess I got a shovel.
Yeah.
Like that's the best thing you can do with snow.
Yeah.
So
What would you guess the population for Cleveland is?
Wow. I would guess 4 million.
Just Metro.
Just Metro? Oh, 2 mil,
367,000.
But you're hitting me with metros, dude. That's crazy.
Well, just the proper area.
yeah,
It's
All right. Now I'm starting to get it.
Greater Cleveland is 2.18.
Okay.
yeah, makes sense.
I'm starting to get it now.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get it now.
And then so 2.9 this says for Denver. Is that correct? I don't know.
You want me
think
to
he knows
fact check
better than the internet?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, does that sound?
Call the mayor.
is that what-
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
That's a lot closer than I thought it'd be.
Those two cities.
Metros, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like one's growing, the
Or
other's
non-metro,
shrinking.
greater area.
Kind of met in the middle there.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
What about you guys? You're Chicago guys. Do you ever think about branching out?
I got close a couple times. I was going to move to, I had accepted a job to move to Oregon, and then Dave offered us, so I stayed here.
My brother lived in Oregon. We went to college there.
Yeah.
Corvallis.
Oregon State.
Never went though. I never visited.
Yeah. I didn't even know you had a brother. And then I was, that same company, like a year before, it was like I was going to go to Charlotte. And then that company fell apart. So then I was kind of scrambling, and then the Oregon job happened, and then I accepted a job. It was like on like December 8th or something like that. And then I think we had a job offer from Portnoy on like December 16th. So I'd call the guys back and be like, I'm not coming. Yeah, I'm staying.
What was your thought on going to Oregon? Like, what was your vibe?
I really liked, so is this guy who made a ton of money in oil and gas, and then he was investing in all these different businesses, and this one was a water company, and I really liked that guy, and I didn't really want to live in Oregon. I thought like the nature would be cool, but I thought I could, the way that we talked about it, me and this guy would be like, all right, you come out here, if you kill it for like 2, maybe 3 years, then like we can put you somewhere else in our portfolio.
Right.
And so that could be back. It could have been anywhere, but I was like, I can do 2 or 3 years out in Oregon, and like really good opportunity. And fuck it, I've never lived on the West Coast, so I was gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay because my whole family's here. It makes it easier. But I would obviously, like, I was gonna go to Charlotte. I was gonna go to Oregon, like opposite parts of the country. And
White Sox Dave's favorite story.
what?
That he Chief
yeah.
threw a going away party for himself.
Dave.
And he never moved.
So
That kind of rules.
I didn't throw it. It was a surprise. And Dave sold wristbands for my like a $20 all you can drink for 3 hours. Where Dave got a skim.
That's
off
worse
the
than
top.
Wendy's.
Yeah, Dave got a skim off of my going away party, and then he likes to make fun of me for it when he threw it and profited.
No way.
And I never moved. Yeah,
White
I
Sox
think that was the Charlotte move. That was 17.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But if you could pick a place that you've thought about moving to, if you could like just pick anywhere in the U.S.
It's more like I'd like to have a house there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like I'd like to have a house in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who lived in Boise who said it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I like you're saying, like I just feel better when I'm by the ocean. I feel that way in the mountains.
Yeah.
So I'd like a place in the Rockies, but I don't really have like
a spot.
Yeah.
A dream spot.
Yeah, not really.
Mm-hmm.
I could be talked into different places.
Yeah.
And do you have a dream spot?
Feel that way when I'm around Italian beef.
Okay. All right.
No, I don't know. I mean, I as a kid, for some reason, I always had a weird obsession with San Diego.
San Diego's cool.
Yeah, and I went there for the first time since I was a kid. So that was like 97, 98. And I went there for the first time this past November, and it still holds up.
Yeah.
It definitely
It's cool.
still holds
People
up.
rave about San Diego.
Yeah.
Rave about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm at the point where it's hard for me to really imagine going anywhere else.
Yeah. But I would, the right opportunity.
The right
like,
opportunity.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm with you. For
Yeah.
sure.
Santa Monica's nice.
Yeah, it is.
I like a little Santa Monica.
Yeah.
That'd probably be mine.
We were talking about Santa Monica, and like I used to go out there for work at least twice a year, and I was just like underwhelmed. But Lance is telling me I went to all the wrong spots. Like I was down by like the pier, which is like the tourist spot. Then I was at like this shopping place. I'm like, the weather's great, but I'm like, so many homeless people. Like this is not my vibe. And then he's like, well, you went to all like the worst places. And
There are more than any other city I've been to, like major city. LA has the most like tiers to it.
Yeah.
I've been with some friends that live in LA that took me to some really cool places with like cool people, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
But then there's like the other part of LA that if you don't like it's really who you're friends with.
Yeah.
Because the general part of LA is not that fun.
Not great.
And it's in New York. That was the coolest thing about New York, is that it felt like the majority of people. It's like a very good equalizer. New York,
we're all living the same kind.
The thing I used to say about New York that I liked is that it makes a lot of kind of rich people a little bit poor.
Okay.
Which is like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
which
like
is
a good humbling for those.
A good
people.
thing. Like it's a good thing, and you're just in general, because of public transportation and everything, you're not as isolated.
Yeah.
So there's like a much, like the people in New York were much more fun, and in general the vibe was better than in LA. That's what I liked about New York, was that it was sort of it just felt more community.
Yeah, and I see like on the opposite, I love Charleston, and it's kind of the opposite.
Dude, I heard Charleston's awesome.
Charleston's fucking great.
Going for the first time this year.
You'll love it.
I heard the food's insane.
They have like, it's something like they have like 3 of the top 20 restaurants in America.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, is that like Michelin star bullshit?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not bullshit. It's like,
Yeah, I know it's not bullshit, but like,
Well, you're right.
It's not Italian beef.
Yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Right.
I do know.
But they have really good seafood stuff there too. Like they got really good, like kind of almost like
It's
like Cajun kind of food. Like they do the barbecue great. They got a lot of great food there.
it's no fucking Budokan that Biz took us to. In New
Dude,
York.
that was good.
Now, how great was that meal?
It was so good.
You ever heard of Budokan? You ever heard
I think
of
we
Budokan?
didn't we
Yes,
go there?
I brought you there after Biz brought.
And
Right.
It was like bringing a kid to Disneyland.
Yeah.
It was great.
He was looking at these dumplings like it was Space Mountain. It was crazy.
And Biz like did it right.
It was good.
Like
I can't argue.
Curated the menu.
Who was it? It was us two, Grinelli, Biz, RA, and I think Trista.
It was a wild
Yes,
crew.
What a crew.
It was a weird
It
crew.
was
Yeah.
a wild crew. I don't remember how Trista got in that mix, but it was a good dinner. But yeah, it was a crew that will never be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
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 But I remember that. It was just a dinner that stands out because I don't know, it's very New York. Like everything was.
It's a little dark in there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cool. It's a cool spot.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had the New York feel, where at any point if you needed to hide, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's corners and darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, random rooms.
Yes, and you like look down on like these huge tables.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Have you found like your Chicago spot yet? Like you're like, hell, let's go here. I'm excited. to go
I'm
here.
bad with food.
I just meant like bars or anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a place near here that I like going to. The food's pretty good. It's not. I wouldn't say that the food like blows your dick off, but it's Black Barrel Tavern.
Yep.
Good spot.
Good spot.
And I randomly found that when I came out here to look at apartments. I was staying.
Chelios loves that spot.
Really?
Yeah.
I was staying in West Loop looking at places, and I just walked down the street and I just went into that. It was the first place I saw, and I kind of just kept going.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I think a lot of people like that spot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like I get sandwiches from Nona's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that. But I did the same thing in New York. It was because like once I started Twitch streaming, it's like my nights I'm not like as much going out and about. And I have a terrible memory, so I'll find a place I like and then
Like, what was it?
yeah.
Just roll with it.
Yeah.
All right, then we could wrap this up. Thanks, Rudy, for filling in today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's it, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow.